How you going, Ledge?
Good mate, how are you?
Oh, mate, fantastic. Long time no
You
see.
busy?
Oh, mate, keeping the economy moving here at Super Bowl. Don't worry about that. How about you, mate?
Yeah,
How's
good.
how's COVID treating you?
I feel like I've adjusted now, but yeah, the first few weeks were a bit different. Obviously, not playing footy or training with the boys, which is disappointing. But I'm still able to train by myself. Still able to study online, so can still be busy in other ways. So.
Have you picked up any new skills or any new hobbies throughout these last couple of weeks?
Well, you need to take me out surfing. You need to teach me how to
Yes,
surf.
yes. That's on the hobby picking up list.
Yeah.
Obviously you picked up a retail skill over the off season. Tell everyone about that.
Yeah. Well, I was helping you in the shop. I'm not.
You were, mate.
Yeah, I was helping fetching suits, putting things through the FPOS machine. It was great.
How did you find the retail life over the AFL life, the everyday change?
I mean, it was a good change, yeah. It's something different. But there's just different types of headaches, isn't there? There's headaches in any job that you have.
Speaking of headaches, what would you say would be one of the biggest headaches being a professional football player?
Probably the injuries that you get and the soreness that you feel. That's probably the biggest headache that you have. The hard bit is playing or training when you're sore, when you're injured. Are you good enough to play? Are you not? That's probably the biggest headache.
Speaking of football, obviously you reached the pinnacle a couple of years ago, winning the Premiership, which I was fortunate enough to be there on the day, and Maxie and I were fortunate enough to be in the rooms after to celebrate with you. One of the favourite stories that you told me was about the midfield huddle at the end of the first quarter in the 2018 Premiership.
Obviously, the 2018 Grand Final didn't start well for us. And yeah, it was probably, I watched it back for the first time about 3 weeks ago. So just watching it, I couldn't understand, as a fan watching on TV, you must have been thinking 20 minutes in, what's happening? And
It was good being in the crowd that day.
Yeah, the atmosphere was good. Collingwood were happy. But yeah, at that quarter time, we got those two late goals in the first quarter, which was good. And at quarter time, Sam Mitchell, the midfield coach, got the midfielders in, and the midfielders and the backs were doing pretty well. We were getting the ball in to the forwards, and Mitch kind of just said, "Oh, look, boys, the forwards are nowhere today. They're struggling.
Yeah.
We're going to have to kick some goals because they aren't." So from then on, all the midfielders, the ruckman, Vardy kicked a goal, Shuey kicked a couple, I kicked one, Yoa kicked one. Yeah, snuck forward. So that was because going into that quarter time huddle, you're thinking, "Oh, got a cop of spray here for sure." Like Simo's, Mitch, they're going to just tear shreds. Started pretty badly, but they were just pretty positive.
Share with us a story about the selection of number 34.
Generally, footballers want to go lower numbers. Just, I don't know, maybe it's just the tradition, but I was number 43 at St Kilda when I was there for one. And 34 it was kind of just a bit of a change up, same numbers, but different order. And just a new beginning. And no one had won a premiership in 34. No one had played 100 games in number 34 at West Coast. So I thought, yeah, I'll go with that one, and stuck at it. And it's worked out pretty well, being the first to play in the flag and play 100 games in that number. So
a few stickers on a locker now.
Yeah, name on the locker. It's a nice thing you can reflect on when you finish footy. But yeah, I was just wanted to make it my own, and yeah, it's been good so far.
Mate, and tell me, what are a couple of things you were looking forward to once COVID-19 passes and all the restrictions pass?
Obviously playing footy's pretty obvious, but probably just shaking people's hands. I think you just sort of miss the awkward. Nowadays, it's not awkward anymore, but everyone understands. But it's just kind of like the habit of shaking someone's hand. You can't do that in these circumstances. So yeah, just missing hugging your mum, like those type of things you can't do right now. So they're the type of things that that'd be good. Bit back to normality.
One of your home grounds in Perth, sometimes it's Optus Stadium. But another home ground of yours is Market Ground. So some would say that you spend more time on the wings of market grounds than you do more so than off the stadium?
Certainly in off-season, I'll be there a lot. Once the season starts, you know me, I'm a bit of a hermit and very focused on the season. But yeah, off-season, market grounds, great establishment. Joel, the manager there, is a great man. So yeah, people do joke they're there a lot, but that's usually in off-season.
People may have saw on the Instagram last night, I put out any questions which people would like to ask a Premiership player. And I've got a few great ones that have come through. Some left field.
I'm hoping.
Sorry, mate?
Yeah, I'm hoping they're good, mate.
No, they're very enjoyable.
I
First
can't
one
wait
comes
to hear
from
this.
Ray Dowd. He's asked, what are your 2020 goals?
My 2020 goals, one of them is to finish my uni degree in exercise science. There's always things in terms of football, like you always want to play as many games as possible, stay injury-free, be a good teammate, stay fit. But I wouldn't say that's my lifestyle now. It's not so much a goal.
One of the other questions has come from a Cam Cobb from Frankston, I think it is, in Melbourne. He asked as a question, do you always take out a flask when it's your round for a drink?
Cam, he sounds familiar. No, it's purely for backup purposes.
Another one here from a Tamara. Thanks to the girls throwing out some questions our way as well. How do you keep your roses so lush? I have heard that you are a bit of a green thumb. Yeah,
so especially all the spare time I've got now, my lawn's looking great. Bit more time in the garden. Pruning the roses, not so much now. Wait till after they flower.
Of course.
After the winter, that's when I'll prune them. But yeah, Mum and Dad, I always ask them for some tips. Dad used to be a lawn mower, so he gives...
There you go. Share with us a movie title which sums up your coronavirus experience so far.
Is The Lone Wolf a movie? Like, living by myself.
Yeah.
Can't interact with anyone. Like, that's probably it moment.
Just cutting shapes, doing your own thing. Love it. Thanks for your time today. Good to catch up.
Pajamas, look after yourself. Stay busy.
Always, mate. See you, mate.